A week or so ago, I did a video titled Wants versus Needs, and you can see that here. Today, I want to expand on this idea and get you to focus on your highest priorities. This is an exercise that everyone should do at least once a year, and for insurance producers, probably more often, like once a quarter, which I'll explain in just a minute. Hi, I'm Gordon Coyle. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about the risk and insurance issues on the minds of business owners. And in this producer series, I focus on the life of an insurance producer, the ups, the downs, the difficulties, and the triumphs. So let's look at wants from a different perspective today. My first video on wants was somewhat general and focused on how wants are so different from needs, especially when viewed through a 10x growth prism. Producers that focus only on satisfying their needs will rarely be 10x level producers because their view of the world and what's possible is very limited. The opposite of that are producers that are driven by their wants. They naturally have a more expansive of the world and their place in the world. Now you may be thinking, it's simple. I want to be successful. I want to make a lot of money. I want to be the top producer in my agency. Those are great wants. But today I want you to take a step back and give you more context here that I think will help you with your goal setting and action plans for 2024. I want you to consider your highest priorities. What are your wants today? What do you want to get out of life? What's most important to you? Yes, these are all wants, but I also want you to consider these in the context of all areas of your life. Your life is not just being an insurance producer. It involves many facets that are interconnected, and they include your physical self and well-being, your relationships with your family and others, your financial plan, your business plan, your spirituality, your mental well-being, and your lifestyle. Now, I'm not going woo-woo here. These are important considerations. For example, it's difficult to be a top-performing producer if you're not healthy and fit. Our jobs are physically and mentally demanding. If you're not in a healthy state of being, you're making it more difficult to hit your success goals. And you can interpret all the other sides of your life in the same context. So, back to what you want. As you begin this exercise of wants, I also want you to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to achieve these goals? What will you get out of them? What will it mean to you? This may produce secondary wants or goals, and it's important to write all of them down. And as you continue to ask these questions and probe deeper into your wants, more wants may surface. Write them all down. These are all going to be interconnected. Next, I want you to organize them into the buckets I mentioned earlier: health, relationships, financial, business, spiritual, mental, and lifestyle. Now, prioritize the most important to the least important. Some buckets may not have any goals or priorities or wants attached to them. You may be 100% confident in your spirituality bucket or in your health bucket, and no improvements or wants are needed for 2024, and that's fine. This is your plan. It's not my plan. It's not anybody else's. This is what's most important for you and you alone. This is your life and your future you're talking about here. After you've identified these wants, categorize them and prioritize them. I want you to think about what action steps you're going to take to actually make these things happen. We've talked about the number of prospecting calls you need to do to hit your production goals. So similarly, if you want a better relationship with your spouse, then think about what steps you need to take for that to happen. It may be a certain number of date nights per week or per month. It may be planning family vacations. If it's physical goals, you want to be specific around what you want, like a particular weight or BMI, and the number of times you'll go to the gym each week. The point is that life as a producer is tough. There's no doubt about that. But in creating your goals and putting down what you really want on paper, it'll require you to focus on all facets of your life and that they're clicking along in a positive direction. Most producers base their planning on hope. I hope to write $100,000 in new commission this year. I hope to be in better shape this coming year. I hope I'm still married at the end of next year. You've heard it before. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is an illusion of a goal. That's because underachievers tell themselves this because they're afraid to fully commit. To convert a hope to a goal, you need to write it down and create a strategy to achieve it, which means taking action steps that are specific and measurable, and then being accountable to those steps. The big takeaway here is to recognize that your life has multiple facets to it, and for you to find your success in 2024, you need to balance all these areas of your life to optimal levels. Is it easy? No, of course it's not. If it was, everyone would do it and then everyone would be a top performer. But obviously, not everyone is doing it or living it. The question is, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to commit to it? Are you willing to take on these challenges and then stick with it? Are you going to be accountable every day of 2024 to make shit happen? The big factor in answering those questions and setting yourself up for success is the environment you work in. I've heard from producers that watch these videos who tell me that they don't get the support or the foundational conversations we're having here, and that's a shame because it's ultimately not only hurting them, but it's also hurting their agencies and their agency value. If you're looking for a positive environment that reinforces positive and healthy conversations around goals and production and success, then give me a call and let's chat. We're looking for a few new producers in 2024, and I'd love to talk about your future and how we may be able to help. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button or leave me a comment on what you're thinking about or what topics you'd like me to cover here more often. Thanks again for watching.